Are you fire? Let's talk about it. I'm Nate. I'm the FitfutureMD. I'm the owner of Ensorsale.com. Get you a cool t-shirt today that has meaning behind it. What you wear matters. Improve your life by seeing positive messages all the time. And that's what Ensorsale is about. Use code FitfutureMD for 20% off. And let's start talking about fire. So what is fire? Fire is financial independence and retiring early, right? So everybody kind of starts their journey off with this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? This guy says, I never wanted a job. I never want a job. So basically like, well, what did he do? Well, it wasn't called the FIRE movement back then, right? But it's basically, the FIRE movement is basically where you have assets that cover your expenses, right? So you don't actually have to have a job. So so how did he do that? Number one, and then how can we replicate it, right? So he basically did through real estate, right? He got other people to invest their money into his real estate deals, so that now, he's been retired for 50 years. He doesn't manage the real estate. He just sits back and collects the check, right? And, that's very good at certain times in the market, right? Because markets do this and this, right? So right now, the real estate market is very high, right? So it's very difficult to get into the real estate market. And, certain people have certain advantages when it comes to stuff like that, right? They have a rich uncle or the rich uncle gives them a network, or the rich father gives them a network of people that can invest their money, right, into your deals. Well, most people don't have that. So that is difficult to replicate. It can be done. It's not that it's impossible. So if you're a person with a big network and you can get people to give you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, then, that makes sense. But if you're a person like me, my entire family's been poor my whole life, all the networks around me, grew up in a poor area, were there rich people around? I'm sure, but they definitely weren't willing to give that money to some poor dude, right? So anyway, but that's the general principles of the FIRE movement. The general principles is that your assets are going to cover your expenses, right? So, and a lot of people will start talking about their FIRE number and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really going to go into that today, but generally this is what most people do to reach FIRE, right? Reach financial independence and retire early, right? Most people, when they set off on this journey, they get to retiring early or financial independence at the 10-year mark, right? It takes them 10 years to do it. Now, there's no guarantees that when you get to this mark that you're going to be healthy, that you're going to, outlive how long it took you to get there, right? There's just this idea that there's more to life than going to work a 9-to-5 job, or for my case, 7 to 3:30 job. There's more to life than, taking crap from people and, all the stuff that comes along with working in corporate America or working for the government or whatever, right? So I think the biggest problem that most people have with the FIRE movement is that most people have a minimum lifestyle requirement, right? We all do, really, have a minimum lifestyle requirement. And most people are not willing to sacrifice that to reach fire, right? So, you know, to reach it without sacrificing your minimum lifestyle requirement, you're going to have to think differently, right? So if you're a person that, you know, they're going to live in a nice house, they're going to have nice cars to drive, you know, you're going to wear nice clothes, you know, it's going to be more difficult for you to do this, right? You're going to need to network. You're going to need to find partners that are willing to go into your real estate deals. You're going to need to maybe leverage your house to put into your real estate deals. You know, basically you're going to have to, honestly, when you get to the FIRE movement, you're so fed up with how things are going. Like, even if you have your dream job and your boss is a shit boss, or, you know, that's not necessarily my case, but you just know there's more to life, right? And, you know, you just get fed up with it. So you devise a plan to get you to FIRE as fast as possible, right? So in my case, you know, I have very high student loans, right? High student loans are going to keep you from buying houses, right? So I can't even do that, right? You know, that's the big negative of student loans is, right, they include it in your debt to income ratio, even if you're not even paying them, right? So that being said, you know, I had to devise a way using stocks, right? Because stocks, they don't care what your credit score is. You know, the only negative of stocks is to day trade, or to be a pattern day trader, you have to have $25,000 in your account, right? So most people have to start the journey very, very slow when you're going with stocks, because number one, they don't have anybody to give them 25K, right? So a lot of people out there that are day traders, they have somebody stake them, and you know, I didn't have that, right? So, you know, basically that was saved money and money we earned in the stock market, right? So, you know, during COVID, they gave us a $1,200 check. I put that in the stock market, and the rest is history, right? But I'll talk more about how to day trade from that level to the $25,000 level, and it's probably going to take you about 3 years to go from $1,000 to $25,000, right? And you do what's called swing trading instead, right? Where you hold positions for multiple days instead of doing it day by day, right? That's really the only difference. But basically, you know, what I'm getting at here is that if, without changing your lifestyle, right, you have to earn more income somewhere, right? If you can't change your lifestyle, you've gone down as much as possible. You have to earn more income somewhere, and that's where I chose to do it, was through. I chose to do it 2 places, right? So I sell t-shirts, right? Make great designs that have inspirational messages. So if you want to go to Ensorsale.com and get you one of those t-shirts and help me reach FIRE faster, that would be great. The second thing I did is I trade stocks. Now, how much are you trying to get, right? So, you know, small account, you know, you can make $100 to $200 extra a day, right, on a small account. And that's really without being that risky, right? I basically only trade the S&P 500. It's very forgiving, so you make a mistake, that stock's pretty much going to go back up anyway, because people that long-term invest are into ETFs and all that, they buy those stocks, right? They buy the S&P 500. So eventually that stock's just going to keep going up anyway, right? Just because of the weighted average of the S&P 500 for, you know, so you make a mistake, it's going to go up, right? But we're just taking, it's got highs, it's got lows, and we're just taking advantage of the highs and lows, right? And so basically that's how you make extra money, right? Now, you can figure out what your FIRE number is. It's basically whatever you need to live times 25. And I would probably double that now because of inflation. A lot of people thought that, $5 million would be enough. It's really not anymore. And they're going to keep inflating our economy probably until everything crashes. So keep that in mind. But then the idea is to, turn those profits, a percentage of those profits, into long-term investments that just pay you dividends, right? And you live on the dividend. A lot of people want to do the 4% rule. Well, I don't ever really want to touch the principal, so I really just want to collect dividends and live on the dividends, right? So dividends are going to be 2 and 3%, right, instead of 4 or 8 when it comes to real estate. So just keep that in mind. So this is going to be my FIRE journey, right? And hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with somebody. Really helps out the channel. Do appreciate you following along. And let's retire early, right? Let's be financially independent. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.